Hey, hello, I'm Kråkan, also known as Corvus, so welcome to Yacc, yet another Crowcast where I pick a game, I play it for a week, and then I'll talk about it. This week's game is Tiny Toon Adventures for the Nintendo Entertainment System, developed and published by Konami in 1992, and it's a platformer. And there will be spoilers up ahead, just so you know, but first a little backstory. As a kid, I played a lot of good games, and you forget about them eventually, some of them at least, and up until this week, I totally forgot about this game, and that's why I'm playing it this week. So the game starts with Buster Bunny watching TV, and for some reason, Max Montana is on there, and he has kidnapped Babs Bunny, so you need to go save her with your friends. So this game is divided into 6 zones, and each zone has 3 levels in it. So as you start a zone, you get to pick between 3 buddies to come along on your adventure. So you can pick between Plucky the duck, Dizzy the Tasmanian devil, and a cat named Fussball. So right off the bat, this threw me for a loop because I'm used to the animated series being dubbed in Swedish. So all the names flew over my head and I was like, I don't even know what these characters are called really. So anyway, you start the game as Buster, you collect carrots and you pop, I think they're like balloons or balls, and these either transform you into your body that you picked at the start of the zone, or some of them actually gives you an extra heart, and you can only take 1 hit as Buster or like your friend. An extra heart is actually very useful in this case. So as you transform or switch places with your buddy, you get different abilities, right? So Fuzzy the cat can cling to walls. So if you jump against the wall and push the D-pad against it, you kind of slide down very slowly. Plucky the duck, he can fly and swim really well underwater. And Dizzy the Tasmanian devil, he just turns into a tornado of destruction. And this ability is it's on a cooldown, if you will. So the next stage is a mini-boss, so you're supposed to avoid this boss. It's Elvira from the series. She literally wants to hug you to death, so you just avoid her until the exit pops up and then you're good. So the next stage is a creepy castle with flying jack-o'-lanterns and falling pink platforms, and there's like these ghosts that pops up and circle around you. It's a very tight window and you can actually escape these ghost circles, if that makes sense. And the boss and the final boss of this zone is a mad doctor. He is on a skateboard and you're supposed to avoid him, what do you call it, like a half pipe. You're supposed to jump on his head 3 times and then the exit appears, so you get a key or something like that. So the second zone is a desert. There's some like hermit crabs that throw the shell at you, and for some reason you always get hit by these no matter where you are. It's like, you know, the timing of jumps, and somehow I always manage to jump right into it. I don't know. So the second stage is underwater, and I had Plucky as a friend here, so it was really easy to swim underwater, and he is one of those characters that actually, the other characters you need to like tap the A button to swim faster or something, but he just used the D-pad to move underwater, and he moves really fast. And the B button has like a tornado attack that it kind of was on a cooldown and deals with some types of water enemies like fish and whatnot. So the mini boss again is Elvira. There's some platforms you can jump on and just avoid her. And this is one of those things when I realized this is just a hard copy of Super Mario Bros. 3, because Plucky can fly, and if you push down the B button you actually run. So that's the trick I figured out. Okay, now I know how to avoid her. Like, she ran into me because I was so slow, but anyway, I managed to beat that. And the next stage is a pirate ship, and you go down below the deck into the holds, and you avoid like all these rats that basically are very annoying, and you get to a captain, and you're supposed to jump on his head like 3 times. So the third zone is a little different. You collect acorns instead of carrots. But for some reason, an acorn counts as a carrot as well, because the counter is still a carrot. So and on this level you encounter owls and hedgehog for some reason that roll into you. I don't know why. And there's some jumping with falling platforms. Stage 2 is the dark woods, and here you will find trees that spawns bats on you. And you will encounter beehives and bees that chase you. And the mini boss here is Elvira. Just avoid her, you will do good. And stage 3 is a cave with more bats in it. And the boss here is a werewolf, so you have to jump on his head 3 times. And the fourth world or zone is the city. So this is where I got really frustrated. You just have 1 or 2 hits and everything comes at you in this level. Like, There's some dogs that throws like ceramic pots at you, and there are things that popping out of the dumpsters and throw cans at you, and I can only take so much of this, so really frustrating. And there's a thing where if you die on the boss, you have to start all over again from the first level. So if you are at stage 3, you have to go all the way back to the first stage. The second stage on this one is a dump, and you just cross over it. We'll encounter Elvira in the end, just avoid her. And the third stage is like a building, and you just climb that, and the boss here is literally just Donkey Kong, and avoid him and stump his little monkey friends, and eventually he gets so angry that he destroys the platform that he's standing on himself, and he falls down. So Zone 5 is a bit trippy. It's like checkered forms and platforms are all weird, and here you will encounter Jojo. So you're supposed to collect this bird, I think it's like 3 times, and he becomes a large version of himself. Very trippy. And then you are inside of Mac's mansion, and there are traps and guards there. So the final boss is Max. So he is on like a top platform, and he has like these big boxing gloves that you're supposed to avoid, and you use them as platforms to get to him. You hop on his head a few times, and then he drops, and then you're done. And then the curtain like drops or opens up. You say Bub's Bunny, the end. So gameplay. Rescue Babs from Max and save the day. Control, the D-pad moves the character around, and I forgot to talk about this in the game section, but if you are on a slope and you press down on the D-pad, you slide down, just like in Mario Bros 3, and there's so many elements. I think my brother even said like, this is a rip-off, and I was skeptical at first, but all of a sudden it dawned on me. So if you press the A button, you jump, the B button, if you hold that, you run, and underwater you can shoot whirlwind projectiles, and the start button pauses the game. Graphics. 8-bit charming graphics that is faithful to the animated series. You know exactly which character you're looking at, and that's all there is to it. Sound and music. Jun Funasashi, Masae Nakashima, Satoko Minami composed the soundtrack for this game, and it's kind of forgetful, but it has like this nod to the series as of a whole, and I like that. Easter eggs, secrets, and glitches. I found this glitch at the Mad Professor or Mad Doctor stage where he skateboards. So if you have Fuzzy as your companion, you climb up the wall, and if you climb above the scoreboard, you're stuck there until you jump off. It has no like use whatsoever, but I just found it by accident because I was trying to figure the boss out and whatnot. So there's another thing. You have like a secret code that you punch in at the title screen. So you press the A button 3 times, the B button 3 times, and then select 3 times, and then A and start. And this brings up the level selection screen. So you can pick 24 levels, and this is how I actually got through the game because I couldn't beat it. There was like a stop at the city because everything was thrown at you and you can only take 1 or 2 hits. This is how I actually played the game this week. So if you pick level 24, you encounter like, I think it's Plucky in a Darth Vader costume, and it's not. I don't think it's in the original game. It's just like a funny scene where you have to fight him, but you die instantly. I thought it was kind of funny. Maybe that's one of the more funnier Easter eggs I've seen this year, actually. So in conclusion, I wrote, no, it looks fun, but it's not fun to play. This game is really unforgiving. There's a lot of cheap deaths. You can only take 1 or 2 hits and then you're done. On the charming side, the graphics looks really good and it captures the character spot on from the series, and overall really charming. But as I said, it's super difficult and unforgiving. So I recommend just trying this out. It's not everyone's cup of tea, but yeah, that's how things are. So anyway, thanks for listening and or watching, and take care.